Awareness, Health, and Environmental Alternatives, starring internationally acclaimed investigative reporter, compelled to help change people's lives. Two-time winner Crystal Awards, the man who tells it like it is, Basil Gold.
If you missed the first half of the show with Bob Barefoot and Bob Marshall, you really need to see it. Watch it next time. However, this half of the show is so important because it has been said that the diseases of this world can be cured with substances of this world. And what is the greatest substance, the most abundant in our body? Water. And that is why today we're going to concentrate on water. We spoke about coral calcium in water to give it conductivity, but water needs life. And there are so many different types of water. You've got groundwater. In America, all contaminated. River water, contaminated. Dams, contaminated. Tap water. I don't care what you've read and where you've read it. If you've read that your tap water in your city is okay to drink, wrong, wrong, wrong. And I would oppose anybody in this country on that subject matter. You cannot and you dare not. So what are we left with? We are left with water purification. And there we have so many options, but we are so blinded by salesmen telling us of the different kinds of water and their systems that are so good. We have carbon filters. We have granulated activated carbon with KDF. This removes taste, color, and odor. It does not remove things like cryptosporidium, giardia, trichloroethylene, dibromobenzene, and all the 2,100 known contaminants, of which there are over 100 carcinogens, cause cancer, mutagens, chronic tumor promoters. And guess what, folks? It's not only from drinking the water. Bathing in the water does the same thing because we absorb in our skin at 63%, whereas ingestion is only 27%. So let's talk about the kind of waters that we are compelled to take. What is it? We have reverse osmosis water at home, or we have distillation. Incidentally, distillation is not the ultimate way of purifying your water because certain organics can go into flotation. Softened water you dare not use. You should not bathe in it, and you should absolutely never drink it. We're left with the next option, and that's reverse osmosis water. There we can take it down to 0.003 microns, and we have nothing but hydrogen and oxygen, pure, clean, pristine water. However, we've removed the contaminants, we've removed the toxins, we've also removed all the minerals, we've removed the life. The water is a dead water. It is deleterious. If you drink this year in and year out, guess what? Osteoporosis, arthritis, fibromyalgia, and a whole lot of diseases, cancer, set in. Why? Why? Because the water has no life. It has no conductivity. It cannot carry toxins out of the body, and it cannot carry nutrients into the nucleus of a blood cell. That is a water with energy. So today, I brought in a Russian scientist, Dr. Oleg Yasko from New York, who's going to explain to us about water that has living life, that is energized, high frequency. So Dr. Yasko, thank you so much for coming to Las Vegas. Tell me about living water. It's good to see you and good to have you in the studio. I know you just rushed in, walked in. Tell me about the water that has been created, the revitalized water.
Thank you for having me here.
Always a pleasure to have a scientist.
Thank you. 30 years research of Soviet Union into the space travel and psychotropic research find out that recycled water is not only will not hydrate body or cells, will not only not carrying nutrients, it's also will dehydrate and damage cells. Now, Dr. Inyushin in Soviet Union, who took lead research on the water, discovered that Earth crust, geometrical figures of minerals overlapping each other, certain distances and angles will add into the water energy when the water goes through that cycle.
So by adding this water to another water, we can actually energize it, influences all the water around.
Absolutely. They raise up the frequencies of vibration, the amplitude of frequency very high, so the water molecule of the structured water, of the energized water, will vibrate like a tuning fork, another water molecule, like communication between two identical frequency tuning forks.
Right, they would influence, and very simple for folks to actually understand. If you took ice cold water and you added hot water, it doesn't stay separate. All the water becomes warm. The cold water, the hot water, and so it influences, all the energy is influenced, the frequency changes in the water. And I've seen this happen, even when you hold the water, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Even when you hold this water, it can change the vibration. Okay, what I would like to do, to folks, to see how this water works. I have heard about every kind of water on the market. Microhydrin water, clustered water. There are so many out of there. So I decided today to challenge Dr. Yasko and to have a look at a water that he brought from Russia that has been created. And we can show the folks how to actually create this water, right?
Absolutely.
I would like to do some live blood cell analysis. In other words, we would like to take some of this water, introduce it into a subject matter, do the testing of their blood, then introduce the water, and then test the blood again and see how this water has influenced and hydrated the body, how it influences the other water in the body to give a complete hydration.
Let's take a Russian challenge.
Okay, a Russian challenge. Okay, for that, we have Dr. Pearl LaPerla, world-famous biological immunologist. She is dark field blood microscopist. She does live blood cell analysis, and she is one of the utmost in America. So we brought her in today to do this test. Thank you to Dr. LaPerla for coming into the studio. We're going to ask Josh to come in and give us a drop of his blood. We've taken somebody from the audience here. We've chosen Josh to come in. And if you'll just sit down there, Josh, Dr. LaPerla, you can tell us what's going on in the meantime. What are we actually seeing, and why we are doing blood analysis to see this?
Well, the live blood shows us many things, not only hydration, genuine hydration. You know, people drink water, but they don't particularly become hydrated with it because the water is insufficient for that. But also we can see in live blood the effects of our diet and of our environment, environmental toxins. And of course we can see many other things like the bacteria, the viral and the fungal phases that tend to develop heavy metals, and exposure to different drugs and prescription items can be seen in the live blood as well.
Okay, so what we've done now, we've taken a drop of Josh's blood, and we're going to see what that looks like on the monitor. And I'm assuming that we're going to see a rouleau situation, and Dr. LaPerla will give us more information on that when she's got that. So you've got the blood on the slate.
Yes, we do. So what we're looking at, we do see exactly what you called a rouleau situation. That means when the red blood cells are stacked much like a roll of coins. And you'll see that instead of red blood cells moving individually, we end up seeing this rouleau, they're moving en masse. They're attempting to move en masse. But why are they stuck together? You know, the excess proteins, overproteinization that occurs in the body, lack of hydration causes the cells to lose their electrical charge. They have an electrical charge that should allow them to repel one another. And what happens is a lack of hydration and acidity of the pH causes them to lose their electrical charge, and they begin to stick together. And that's dangerous because it allows us not to carry as much oxygen.
In effect, if the entire body were like that, you'd be loaded with cancer.
Yes. You could be loaded with cancer, but mostly people would be complaining of fatigue and lack of energy and lack of motivation. And the problem is that over time, this situation leads to degenerative disease.
Diabetes and cancer.
Of course. And their after effects, their long-term effects from lack of hydration.
So what are we actually seeing in his blood there? Let's have a look at that blood one more time.
What we're actually
We
seeing...
don't see one single blood cell actually on its own.
On its own. None of them are on
They're
their own.
all connected like sticky.
Yes. They're all
Okay.
sticky, and we're seeing development of fibrin in the middle there. You can see that. And that fibrin, takes up all the space in the plasma field.
Okay, now we've taken his blood, we've seen it. It's not a very good picture at all. Let's give him a glass of this energized water. Josh, if you'll drink that down,
Bon appetit.
and we hopefully will see a miraculous change in a few minutes' time. Just by drinking that water, it will influence all the water in his body. And then we'll take his blood again, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's do another test. Dr. Yasko, let's get another subject matter in. Alan, if you will come in, and Dr. Yasko, if you'll explain this part of it, please.
Yes, this is a Corleone camera. Corleone camera is it's a high voltage Tesla coil, which is in a high voltage atmosphere. Air is become as a plasma, and what happening when your hand is on the Polaroid picture, we turn on high voltage coil, and you will appear as kind of like a flare of the energy around the fingertips. The Polaroid film will register it, and we will see the colors, the intensity of it, so we could compare before and after and how is it happening. Okay.
I got that.
Okay.
Okay, so Alan, if you'll put your hand inside the camera, and now he's going to put his hand in, I'll hold it steady.
Yes.
And onto the film, right?
Right. Watch that your fingertips do not touch frame.
Okay, now you're going to take the picture.
Yes. Okay, it's done.
Okay, so now we wait a few seconds, and then you're going to pull the picture out.
Right. All right.
And, wow, all right. So this is what we get to see. We're looking at what?
We're looking at at the fingertips of the Alan.
Okay.
And it's recorded his color of flares and energy. This is the showing how ionized air is around the fingertips, the intensity of it.
Okay, so now we're going to give Alan a glass of water.
Exactly.
Highly energized water, high frequency water. Alan, if you drink that down now.
Thank you.
And then we will take another picture of him in a few minutes' time.
Right.
And hopefully we're going to see a different picture. He's going to have high energy.
Exactly. And it's hopefully we're not going to see hammer and sickle there.
Okay. All right. And then Josh is at his water, so we're going to wait a while for that.
Right.
So this high energized water, high frequency, it influences all the water in the body. So we better hydrate the kidneys, the livers, the brain. Most people are dehydrated, the brain. Headaches are caused by dehydration and dirty stomach, but normally dehydration. Impaired hearing can come from dehydration. Dr. Yasko, you're the expert on that.
Dehydration is cause many illnesses. As a doctor, as a Dr. Batman Gelich wrote the book, Your Body Many Cries for Water.
Yeah, we have it right there. We were showing that.
Yes, and this is hydration. It's a purpose of life, and life is itself in the hydration. The way water goes through the cell, how it hydrating it, osmotic drive through the cell. That's what causing life. Movement water through the cell is a life.
Okay, now let's do a second test quickly. Let's take Josh's blood and let's do Alan at the same time. You do Alan, Dr. LaPerla will take Josh's blood.
Okay.
And we'll do
Which one?
his picture at the same time.
Okay.
And let's have a look at the change in blood. Hopefully we're going to see a complete change in Josh's blood.
Okay.
And we'll see a complete change in Alan's Corleone picture. And then, folks, if we can see such a dynamic change, boy, we have got the undiscovered water. We have miracle water. We have miraculous changes. Because we can basically change diseases. If we can change the blood, change the hydration, we can regress diseases that way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so you're taking his picture now for a second time.
Okay.
And we're going to hopefully see a whole difference in change. And doctor, you've got the blood on his new blood on the screen.
Yes, we do.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the blood, and then let's look at the pictures, and let's see the difference. Okay. Boy, oh boy. So we've got, explain very briefly, doctor, these two.
You see,
Very briefly.
you don't have to be specialist. It's even
Not to me, to the folks.
even picture. There is a light in the air. You see
Oh, yes.
how much lighter his fingertips become compared to the previous
Wow,
one.
look
Even a
at
whole
that.
picture is light. It's like a lightning ball there.
That's before he drank the water. That's after he drank
exactly.
the water. What a change. Now, how about the blood?
Blood looks good. Blood
Whoa,
looks
my
good.
goodness.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes.
Wow. That is phenomenal. Dr. LaPerla,
That was impressive, definitely.
That's what I'm talking about.
I believe you, folks. You can change your water at home. You can do this yourself. Give us a call. Our phone number will appear on the screen. Remember, we sell no products, but we can tell you how you can energize your water like that. I'm Basil Gold. Look forward to seeing you folks next week. May the Lord take care of you and bless you. Thank you, doctors.
Thank you very much to have us here.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.